Isolation day 67, Sunday the 24th of May. I hope you're all well and you're looking after yourselves. So it's that time. I've got to 2 weeks post the transition from keto to low fat plant-based whole food, and as I promised you, I want to give you a full overview of the changes in carb intake, of basal insulin, of bolus insulin, total carb to insulin ratio, my fat intake, all of the important factors I want to show you. Now, just a bit of warning, I've put this on a spreadsheet. I'm going to present the figures to you. I want you to understand the figures and how I get there, but what I'll do is I'll show you all of the figures, and there's a lot of numbers on there, and then I'll reduce it to just a summary, okay? So bear with me. If you're struggling at the start, believe me, at the end you'll be able to understand, and I'll keep it as brief as possible, but I think this is really important for you to see. So blood glucose readings. I wanted to show you how many times I'm taking my blood glucose. For a while I did have the CGM on until the 13th, so until there. But even so, I still took my blood because I wanted to make sure the CGM was accurate and was appropriate, and obviously we found out it wasn't. That's the first thing, just to give you confirmation that I've been taking my blood as many times as I needed to. I'm comfortable that the figures on the reports and everything are accurate. Calories. Kelly commented that she was surprised that I wasn't consuming enough calories, and that is something that I am still struggling with to a certain extent. Before, my calorie intake was 1245 as an average. This is the average of the 4 days here. Here is the average of the first week. Here is the average of the second week. So I have increased it, but again, I'm still struggling somewhat. But like I said to you on the other video, I will endeavour to increase that by eating more fruit, and which is obviously more calorie dense. Now this is where it gets quite interesting, I think. Fat intake under keto, 102 grams of fat as an average across a day. Now, fat percentage of calories, the Mastering Diabetes guidance is ideally you want to be around about the 15%. Okay, now I was at 46, and you can see some days 65. First week 13 grams and 13%. That's pretty damn good. Second week 11 grams and 10%. Okay, I'm happy with 13, but I just wanted to show you 11 and 10. So that's the fat content, and everything derives from that. If you keep your fat low, then your insulin sensitivity will increase, okay? And your insulin resistance reducing will mean that you need less insulin. Well, let me show you. Right, carbs consumed. Average carbs consumed under keto, 56. First week, 157. Second week, 223. So you can see I'm increasing my carb intake as we go along the process. Total insulin consumed. Average of the keto, 31. First week, 29. Second week, 26. My total insulin, which is my basal and my bolus, is reducing, okay, over the period of time. Now, bear in mind that I'm increasing my carb intake at the same time. The carb to total insulin ratio. Under keto, average of 2. First week, 5. I'm at an average of 9 for the second week. That's pretty impressive, I think, for such a short period of time. And what I also wanted to state here was my basal or background insulin usage. Average was 24 under keto, 23 in week 1, and we're down at 20 for week 2. Quite a lot of information on there, quite a lot of figures. You can see each individual day, but this is the telling factor, I think. My background insulin is reducing throughout, and this is an overview. So look, let's start with the most important, which is the fat. So I went from 102 grams to 13 to 11. Now we know that my fat percentage is fine, okay? At 13% and 10%, I'm good with that. But I wanted to show you the decrease in fat. So the decrease, 88, 89%, so 80 to 90% decrease in fat intake on a daily basis as an average. Next, total insulin consumed. My insulin has decreased from 7% on week 1 to 17%, so 31 units to 26. 17% reduction in total insulin consumed. And you can see my background insulin has had an 18% reduction. 24.4 was the average. We're now down at 20.2. That's surprising considering, look at my carb intake. So I wanted to show you the decreases here and the increases below. My carbs consumed are 300% higher than what they were before. So average was 56, we're now an average of 223. I'm consuming 223 grams of carbs a day, and yet my total insulin consumed has gone down by 17%. Work that one out under kind of conventional standard thinking. Doesn't work, does it? My historical diets, both keto and my standard Western diet, I would never be able to do that. That would be an impossibility. This has only happened because, and the only conclusion I can come to is it's because of the fat intake reducing. And the last thing, I wanted to show you the carb to insulin ratio going from 2 to 9. That's almost 400% higher. I hope that's given you a really good overview of the changes in the last couple of weeks. It's been a challenge in some ways. I am still going low and having hypos consistently. So my blood sugars are still moving, and they do give you that kind of guidance in the Mastering Diabetes book. And if you watch any of the testimonials from people on their website, this is what they've said, and what they've promised to happen has pretty much happened, quickly as well. As with anything else, this isn't an endorsement. What this is something that I think works for me. Yes, I'm going low, but I can see the fact that less insulin is a good thing. More carbs is a good thing. More healthy carbs is a good thing. Long-term longevity of my lifestyle and my well-being is of paramount importance. If you're looking at this and you're on the fence, am I saying it's easy? No. Am I saying it is a challenge? Yes. Am I saying it's a good challenge? I think any challenge like this is good in my view, and I'm still 100% committed to doing it. I hope that was really useful and you got value from it. Look after yourselves. I'll catch up with you tomorrow.